Listening to this Belly Up Sports Podcast Network product. Some said we go belly up, so we made it our name, and we're still here.
Welcome back. It's 9:30. It's Friday, and it's time to party with your hosts, Anthony the Rook Troyce.
He's a
TJ,
guest.
who's almost hammered, and me, this guy. You call me old-fashioned.
Are we officially saying Rook is a host again? Like, I thought he was still our special guest.
I'm still a special guest for the next 2 months.
He'll always be special. Like,
true.
gets out of school 30 minutes early, so he doesn't go special on anybody else kind of special.
Yeah, special boss.
It's not nice, guys.
That's it's not nice, guys.
Listen,
It's offensive.
it is what it is. How is it offensive?
Right.
If we're not
Let's jump
canceled,
into
it's
this.
not offensive enough.
We'll jump into this because this is a weird night. We're filming on a Friday, 9:39 at night, randomly. So let's get this thing going because we want to make it quick. We don't want to keep anyone too late, especially if you guys go out to the bars and stuff. So let's get it started. New York Jets versus the Pats this weekend. What do you think, boys?
This is a big
Like
game.
New York Jets.
If the Jets win, they have an 88% chance to make the playoffs. If they lose, that chance drops down to 55%. So this could be a make or break for the Jets right now. Honestly, I'm getting I want to say it was 2011 playoff vibes
Wow.
where Rex Ryan is chasing Sean Green. Was it 11? It might have been 10. I'm sorry. It was 2010. Rex Ryan chasing Sean Green into the end zone to celebrate with the boys after a big touchdown. So, Darrelle Revis was in town this week. I think that's a good sign. It bodes well. Everybody's well rested coming back off the bye. I mean, sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. But I think right now with this team that they have going right now, it's a lot easier to keep them engaged in playing the game of football because there's still games worth playing for. I think that becomes hard at the end of the game. Like if you're the Lions right now, if you're the Bears right now, like why do you care about these games at the end of the year? It's hard to keep yourself engaged in a meaningful way.
It's not even the end of the year yet,
No, it's not. It's not, and those teams are already out of it.
Right.
But the Jets are still in it, and it's good to be a Jets fan this year. It's good to be a New York fan of football teams this year.
It's definitely a redemption game. I mean, that game against the Pats that we lost was dreadful. We should be in first place right now in the division, but we're not. I mean, we screwed up that game. I blame the media. I blame fans for getting on Zach Wilson and wanting him to throw the ball. And I'm sure maybe that didn't get in Wilson's head, but I think it might have gotten to Robert Saleh's head. You got to give the fans what they want, and you're winning. Yeah, let's try to throw the ball a little bit more and look what happened. You stick to the game plan. You run the ball. You pound it up their ass. I mean, that's what you're into.
Let me tell you something about this Jets-Pats game. Let me tell you about something about this Jets-Pats game because I watched this last game, right? When the last time you guys played against them. Out of the 11 drives, the Pats had 9 of them were well beyond the 25-yard line, right? Because typically you punt it, either you go 20-yard line or if you do a kickoff, it's about 25-yard line. The field position battle of that game was obviously heavily in favor of the Patriots at that point, right? Jets were always starting behind the 20 or the 25-yard line, always had a longer field to go. Your defense did a really good job in that game. They just gave up 22 points, and I think one of them was off a pick six from Zach Wilson, correct? In that game?
No, not a pick six.
He got deception, but when obviously deception turns over into points anyway. But
well, they ran one back to pretty much the red zone.
Yeah, exactly.
The killer for us was the fact that they called a bullshit a bullshit roughing the passer.
Roughing the passer,
on a pick six for DJ Reed.
Right.
Exactly.
We would have been up 17-3 going into the half if the referees didn't have Bill Belichick in their pocket, or vice versa.
Exactly. So my point is, if the Jets defense stays the same, if the Jets defense stays the same, plays as hard as they've been playing the last few weeks, and the offense steps up a little bit to what you see, kind of what you got from Zach last week against, not last week, week before with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, you guys have a chance of winning this game and have taken control and of your own destiny, basically, to get into the playoffs. I think this is huge. So I think your defense, I'm not worried about the Jets' defense. You just got to be worried about making sure Zach Wilson's on his game and that he's the offense is moving the ball and you're not losing that field position battle constantly throughout the entire game.
Yeah, we lost 2 phases. We talk about it, and Coach always said it too. Coach said, you got to win 2 out of the 3 phases of the game. You got to win either offense and special teams, defense, or special teams, offense and defense. So something needs to go that way. And we lost 2 phases of the last game. Obviously, we were winning on defense, but we got crushed offensively, and our special teams actually didn't show up that game either. So I'm pretty sure we missed a field goal in that game. So that was a bit of a killer too. So we just have to concentrate on special teams. Has been really good lately, and our defense being good, and then offense just doesn't turn the ball over.
Listen, there's no reason the Jets can't win this weekend.
No,
especially if they stick to what they've been doing and what has been helping them win the games. So enough with the bullshit sports media. Enough with the New York media in general, just attacking this dude. There's plenty of other people who attack in sports right now, and the Jets having a season for the decade right now, and all they want to do is harp on the little bullshit things. I think the Jets definitely have the skills to win this game. I'm not scared of the Pats. The Pats aren't the Pats of that we've used to have to deal with in the AFC. So I don't know. I don't want to sit here and say, mark it down as a win for the Jets. They're definitely going to have to work for it. But if the Jets lose against the Pats this weekend, it's a letdown. It's 100% a letdown. It's their game to lose. It's what I mean?
I agree.
The other thing, the Jets are undefeated on the road this year.
Way to put it out there, Michael K.
Listen, the road. Listen, everybody's been saying it for a long time already.
It's the first time I heard you say it, though. You're not allowed to.
I see memes about it every day. The only undefeated teams on the road this year, like the Jets and like the Eagles.
Kiss of death.
I don't think so. I think we go into New England and beat the shit out of these guys.
I hope so.
And we're wearing white on black.
Listen, man, it's a good combination, and taking it to Bill Belichick in Beantown is always worth celebrating. So I'll be ecstatic on Sunday because I was really bored this past weekend. I got to say, even though I went 5-0 with my picks and I was excited about that, I barely watched football. I was like, all right, Jets aren't on. I'm not starting my Sunday at 1:00 the right way. Yeah, and I was tuned out of football.
Do you think that maybe the Jets press too hard when they're at home?
I think they're playing to win, and there's like that onus on them of just, I don't know, satisfying sports media, satisfying the fans, giving them what they want. And what they want is ridiculous because all I want as a real fan is wins. I don't care. I've said it before. I don't care if we win 2-0 with a safety. I don't care. It's a win. Who cares? Yeah. They want to focus on the bullshit.
I was just talking about that with a coworker today. Like fans, we were talking about Aaron Judge and fans being, booing Aaron Judge after a great season in the postseason. Fans don't go to games to watch the game, especially not in New York. Right. Fans go to games to watch the team win. So when you don't give them what they wanted, they didn't get what they paid for. A fan does not pay to go watch the team play. Couldn't care less. Like I pay to watch you win.
Right.
A fan's not giving up hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars and their time to watch a loss. So when they get upset about you losing, like can you really fault them for getting upset that they paid for something that they didn't get? They paid for a W. Right. No fan goes just to watch the game. I'm just a supporter. No. I go to watch my team win. That's it.
Exactly. You're going to pay $1,000 to go maybe get 2 tickets to the ALCS game, right? Mm-hmm. Yankees are games 3 and 4 in New York. They get fucking swept. You're spending how much money in food and beer? You're spending close to $1,500 to and plus parking. You're spending for $1,500 to $2,000. Same thing with football. Football's even worse because it's less games. So even the regular season's a lot of money. And look at hockey, New York Rangers too. You pay how much money to go to a Ranger game? You're lucky if you get tickets for $100 for a Ranger game. So New York
after all the convenience fees.
Yeah, and not because we're angry or we hate our team so much. We're such shitty fans. No, we're paying a lot of money to see these teams and see them win. And when we have to go to a game and pay that much money to take our families to enjoy it, we can't enjoy it because they're fucking losing. Like it's ridiculous.
You know what's crazy? Talk about supporting your teams. The Jets have the second highest attendance in the NFL right now.
Wow,
that's awesome.
The second highest attendance. That's what winning means. It's not. And again, you sit there and go, "Oh, well, that's because fans are front runners." No, it's like, why pay money to go be miserable?
I agree.
You know, it's not fair weather. It's like I'm 35 years old. I physically get angry when they play like dog shit. So why would I expose myself? Why would I subject myself to that type of like, oh, well, I'm going to go and just be miserable? Like, who pays money to be upset?
Well, that's the thing. I usually get paid to be upset while I'm sitting at work.
Right.
So if I want to be miserable, I'll get paid to be miserable. I'm not going to go pay to be miserable. Get the hell out of here.
Absolutely. So
I don't want to. I know
Jets doing well.
Cut this short, but I think we should move it forward because I know we're trying to make this a short night. I know we all got things to do, so let's try to move on. So I want to go to your point, TJ. We were talking about a win is a win. Doesn't matter how you get it done. And then I'm talking about New York Football Giants. A lot of fans complain because they're like, Giants aren't passing the ball that much. You know, they're passing it 17 times a game, but they're going to run it 44 times. It's not exciting football. They can't put up more than 30 points. Listen, the New York Giants know who they are, right? They know they're a run-first team. They know they're a defensive team who's not like an overwhelmingly good defense, but they're a defense good enough where like they're a bend, don't break defense. They're going to give up a field goal. They give up a lot of yards. But they're going to get a big third down play, get a couple sacks, and we get a couple lucky turnovers here and there, fumbles, a couple of deceptions. Last week defense was really good. They had a couple
just so you
turnovers.
know, those aren't lucky. That's hard work that creates that luck. It's not luck.
Well, tell that guy against the Jags game because we were like, "Oh, it's a turnover," and he was like, "No, that was the luckiest fumble I ever seen in my life." The Giants.
I fumbled the ball because he couldn't take the pressure. That's all. I mean, somebody.
Dude, listen. No, I said it wasn't. It wasn't from the effort of the defense that caused that fumble. It was being a shitty ball handler, which it was. He got tackled around the waist and dropped the ball. He still got tackled around the waist and dropped the ball. Usually, you got to punch the ball out. You get hit the ball with your helmet. No, he got tackled around the waist from behind and went, "Bleh." Dude, honestly, if he was in college, the coach would have handed him a football and be like, "You better walk around with this all week. And if I see somebody take it away from you, you're getting benched."
No, you don't get to say that because you didn't like the program, and they did that in the program. So you don't get to reference the program in a positive after you
What is the program?
All over the program.
I don't know what the program is.
Let's get back to the Giants. All right. Let's get back to Giants.
Why?
So here's the thing.
Why? To hear fans bitch and moan that Daniel Jones isn't throwing the ball as much as he should, and then what happens when he throws the ball? I don't know. 3 years of interceptions? That's what you guys want? Have fun.
Well, he's actually
I'm down with it.
He's been pretty good this year.
This year, but for the past 3 years, what happens when he airs it out?
Not when he airs it out. It's just when he holds onto the ball and gets sacked.
He's a fumble guy. He's not a really
fumble guy. He's not an interception guy. He's a huge fumble guy. This year he's been working on those keeping those balls in his hand.
Aren't we all?
Anyway, back to the Giants. So real quick, they're playing the Lions this week. They have a very tough schedule coming up. They have the Lions. They have the Cowboys. They have the Redskins. I'm sorry, the Commanders. They're canceled now. The Commanders, Eagles, Commanders again, and they have the Vikings and the Eagles. They have the fourth hardest schedule coming up. And I think someone tweeted it out with like, if the Giants go like 3-4 or 3-3 after the Lions game, would you take it? And I'm like 100%. If the Giants can beat the Lions on Sunday and they're 8-2, and they go 3-3 in the next 6 games, they're 11-5. Like, why would you not take that 3-3? Granted, listen, the Eagles are a very good team this year. They just signed Sue, so Sue's coming to play for the Eagles. The Commanders are not an easy win anymore. They're playing pretty tough. Tyler Heineke's a pretty decent quarterback now. You got 2 games against them, 1 on the road, 1 at home, and then you got Thanksgiving short week game against the Cowboys. It's a very tough schedule for the Giants. They need to get this win against the Lions, and I'm a little worried about it. I'm going to tell you why. The Lions may have a really shitty defense. They might have a shitty defense, but they know how to score. The Lions are averaging close to like 30-something points a game, right? They could put up 30 points. I think they had like 2 or 3 letdown games. They had a 0 game. He had 0 points against the Pats, and they had like a 6-point game against some other team. But most of the time, they're scoring like 30, high 20s and 30 points. The Giants have not scored over 30 points since October of 2020. So I'm worried if the Giants get down by a lot. I don't know if they're going to have enough to come back.
But you know what? That's the thing with the reason why the Lions can score that much is they usually trade points in a lot of their games, and it's a very much wide open back and forth game.
No, it is.
So if their defense is going to play wide open, and the Giants have the ability to take advantage, I wouldn't be worried about that. I understand what the stats say, and they haven't scored 30 points. But if your defense is going to play wide open, it's going to be a back and forth game like a basketball game. I have faith in their ability to score points.
If it's a shootout, though, I'm worried about is though our receivers. You know, you have Wan'Dale Robinson, who's still a rookie. He's been playing pretty well, but not amazing. You have Galladay. Last week, he had a ball hit him straight in the chest. He just fucking dropped it.
What is going on with Kenny Galladay?
That's been happening a lot though this year, not just him. Dude, there's been a lot of all the games I've watched that, you know, obviously we get in market, you know, the 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, depending on who's playing, Giants, Jets. Yeah. It's been happening a lot. You see a lot of receivers getting hit right in the chest, right in the numbers, right in the hands, and then it's just on the ground. And it's like, I haven't seen that this much in a long time, dude. And even like the commentators aren't getting on him enough because they're like, oh, it was a little high. It's like, dude, it was shoulder height. What do you mean a little high?
The Jags game, remember we watched the Jag games together. We were texting about the Jags with the Giants. Yeah. And in that first half, the Giants receivers had 7 drop balls in the first half.
Yeah, that was nuts, that game.
And it was like the Giants should have won that game easily. It should have been like 30-16 or like one of those.
Who was the drop? What was it? 3rd down, and the dude was wide open across the middle, and he just dropped it. He like turned to run, and he just dropped it.
Last week?
No, against Jacksonville.
I remember that one. That's too far back.
Dude, it was like 3rd down and like 7, and hit him right in the hands, and he turned, and the ball just was on the floor. It's like, wait, what?
Well, last week they had Galladay had one of them the throw was a little bit in front of him, but if you just dive and give some sort of effort, you catch that ball. The ball was off his hands. He was able to get his hands on the ball. You got able to catch it as a receiver, the National Football League. And then the next one, he gets his crossing route, comes right up the middle. The ball hits him dead in the chest. Like, what are you doing? Your hands can't catch a football anymore? Like, what is going on? It was embarrassing for him. So, like, you have him. Everyone's like, oh, he's going to be a revenge game against the Lions. It's not going to be a revenge game. The guy hasn't really played that well. Like, you're lucky if he gets like 8 snaps. They don't even play him. Like, they're like, Daboll's has enough with him, but they spent so much money on this guy. What are they going to do with him? Like, there's nothing you could do. You put so much money into this guy, you at least try to play him. You get him a couple snaps, and that's what he does. He drops the ball and right in his chest.
Yeah.
You have him. Darius Slayton's actually been playing pretty well, considering he was almost in the chopping block for preseason. He had that 54-yard touchdown last week. Again, Daniel Jones was dropping back and just weaved it up, and it was a bad missed tackle by the Texans, but still, I mean, he still took it for 54 yards. He has a speed there, but I don't know. I'm a little bit worried about it. I think Lions plus 3.5. It's probably going to be a shootout, if anything, or the Giants defense steps up, and they actually, since the Lions don't really play that well against good defenses, I'm hoping the Giants are one of those good defenses that could put the Lions offense on a little bit of a hold. That's my
I wanted to ask you, did you see that report about Daboll? And I happen to like Daboll. I think he's a great coach for New York. I mean, not just for your team, not just the Giants, but he embraces that New York attitude, and it's awesome. Mm-hmm. Seeing him at Ranger games and stuff like that, he's just pumped up and full of energy. Yeah. But it came out that when he went for his interview, that Dan Campbell during the interview was like punching walls and throwing chairs and stuff. Did you see that?
No. Dan Campbell's a psychopath.
Dude, and it's like, in what place? Like, I understand football, it's a bunch of tough guys, but dude, somebody needs to grab Dan Campbell and explain to him, like, if you're not playing the sport anymore, there's no reason to act just like a caged animal. Like, in a job interview, why would I want to work for somebody like that that's just throwing shit around and punching walls and just being an absolute psychopath? Like, what's the point of that?
It's insane.
It's like, maybe when you stop playing football, you stop also doing massive amounts of steroids. Allegedly.
He also, like, I think last year they interviewed him on Barstool, part of my take, and they're like, what would you like to have, what to coach to motivate your team? And he's like, I'd love to have a lion on a chain and just be like, you fucked up, here's a lion. Like, I'm gonna have the lion come at you and growl it or on your face, whatever. He's nuts. He's out there, man. He's a crazy dude, that guy.
Fucking weirdo.
But I mean, yeah, that's pretty much those are my Giants points. I think.
Did you guys happen to catch the Bills? What is going on with Josh Allen?
Yeah, I saw that game too. That was actually a really good game.
Absolutely. It's probably game of the year thus far.
Yeah, easily. And they were down. I mean, all he had to do was hold on to the ball. I think they win that game, right? He fumbled the ball pretty much in the end.
I think he was kind of like relenting, like I'm gonna get a safety, maybe. I'm pretty sure he was taking a knee.
You think he was gonna like just take a hit and just sit down as a safety, right? I mean, why wouldn't?
Yeah, I either he was trying to go to the 1 yard line, take a knee on the 1 yard line, or he was trying to just say, all right, fuck it, it's a safety. I don't care because they don't have enough time. We're going to kick them out of the end zone, and that's the game. And he fumbled the snap, and that's how the Vikings recover in the end zone to tie the game, and that's how it went into overtime.
Right.
Yeah. No, that was a good game.
There's definitely some problems in Buffalo.
They are. And you know what, though? Haven't I been telling you guys this? There are certain teams that they revolve around one player. And that one player, if he stops being special, the team is mediocre or bad. And for Buffalo and for Kansas City, those are their quarterbacks. And generally speaking, that's not a bad thing.
No.
Until your quarterback goes through a bad stretch and then you can't win a ball game.
Yeah, it's not like a couple starting pitchers going through a bad stretch, but
it is. But imagine you can only pitch that starting pitcher every day.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, I'm thinking it's a little similar, but not really. But yeah, I know I get what you mean. I mean, the Chiefs are all right now, but Patrick Mahomes, I mean, he's special though. But you're right.
I'm saying if tomorrow he went down.
Oh yeah, no,
the Chiefs aren't even in the playoffs.
100%.
But I just want to point out if Josh Allen played in New York. And when I say New York, I mean New York City, like the place that actually matters, not New York State, which is named after New York City because the state just wanted to kind of be cool. But anyway, if Josh Allen played for either of the New York franchises, right, they would have kicked him out of town already after those 2 or 3 bad games that he's had in a row. They'd have been like, oh, he's a bust. We thought he was the greatest thing since sliced bread. He's a bust, clearly. He'd have been booed out of town. I don't think he would have ever gotten this far because his first 2 seasons would have been so mediocre to subpar. The fans would have been like, get out of town. Look what they're doing to Zach Wilson and his team's winning.
Yeah.
So it's
we talk about look what they did. Quarterbacks becoming mediocre. Look at Aaron Rodgers. I mean, the Packers are shit.
Yeah.
He's older and they gave him that big contract too.
Their offensive line's not that great anymore.
Listen, he's showing up for a paycheck,
receivers.
Dude.
They have no receivers.
There's a lot of there's like wide open receivers on his team, and he was missing them last night.
Yeah, but you know what? It doesn't matter because after the first 4 or 5 games, he already knows like this team's going nowhere fast. It's a dead end.
He's got one guy. He's got 1.5 guys. He's got Randall Cobb and this guy Christian Watson's coming on.
Yeah, he's pretty well.
Lazard is trash. I don't care what anybody says. Alan Lazard is not good.
Thanks.
He's not. He's a 3 or a 4 wide receiver on most other teams. His offensive line is not blocking for him. And I think the biggest problem that Aaron Rodgers has right now is that he doesn't have that escapability that he once had.
Yeah.
He used to have that, okay, you almost got me, but you lose that step, and now you're relying on your offensive line to keep you out of trouble, and they can't do it. I mean, you watch it with Justin Fields right now. If Justin Fields isn't fast, we're not even talking about him right now.
Yeah.
Justin Fields isn't fast. He's bagging groceries, dude. He can't throw.
I'm on team LaShawn McCoy. Shady got it right. The dude doesn't throw passes. Like he's having a great year for a running back, but if you're looking at quarterback stats, he's having a Zach Wilson year.
Yeah. And I guess Big Ben.
The fantasy guys love him, but this isn't fantasy football. This is the NFL.
Yeah.
And fantasy points don't win you games.
No. But I'm saying Big Ben too, and he was always elusive and like hard to bring down. When he got older, it was like
when he got older, yeah.
That's it.
It just became a thing where it's like, all right, one of your biggest attributes that helped you is now it's not there anymore. Same thing with McNair toward the end of his career. McNair became less elusive, easier to bring down, and it hurt him too. So I don't want to say we're seeing it with Rodgers. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is that clearly Aaron Rodgers from 5 years ago doesn't get sacked this much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's scrambling around, and you're going to see it with Mahomes when he gets older. He'll probably be in the same boat. You'll see the same thing with Fields one day. He'll get older, or it might be later this season when the Jets slap him around that he gets hurt or something like that, and he can't move around that great. And maybe that's what happened with Allen a little bit over the last couple of games where he gets hurt playing against the Jets, and he's playing against the Vikings injured, and he's making mistakes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the Jets caused this or whatever it was. Like I'm just saying is you run, you're going to get slapped around a little bit, and you can't do that forever.
No,
that's why they're always trying to protect the quarterback. It's
there's a reason why the average running back only lasts 3 years in the NFL.
Yeah, the average player lasts 3 years. The average running back lasts 30 days.
If you're lucky to get the big contract and go 450 year, that's huge.
Yeah, especially the way that the all these reports are coming out about these turf fields and shit is causing injuries.
Have you ever seen those turf fields?
I've been on the field at Giant Stadium, but they have that field that's has the rubber pellets underneath, and there's no seams in it.
So everybody has the rubber pellets for the most part. So what I didn't know is that. So I played on a field with the artificial turf when I was in high school. Our turf was little pieces of blades of grass. They look like this.
Yeah.
Right. Just straight up and down. It got matted down a lot, but it was cushy. You hit it and you bounced. But they all just stuck up, kind of like how AstroTurf had a little, it stuck up, but it's very, very short. This was long and it stuck up. Apparently, the turf that they're using in the NFL right now is weaved, where it's not like this; it looks like that. So it's imagine a strip like this, and then they cut little holes into it to make it look like grass. Who in their right mind was let's see, these guys got cleats on. Let's put little holes in grass and have it stick out like this, as if it's not going to get stuck in the weave.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm who was the genius that thought we could use cleats on this? That works. It does not work. That's why these guys apparently their cleats are getting stuck in that weave. That's in the it's I saw it, and if I could find the damn grass, the fake grass that has that, I'll show it to you. But I was who invented that, and why are they so stupid?
Yeah, and that's the other thing. It might work, in high school football or even college football. But once you get to the NFL level where the guy's at his peak performance, his, optimum body size, he's just a machine at being athletic. And you're making a cut running as fast as an NFL player does or a receiver does. And you're making a cut, dude. You're already skating on thin ice with not getting injured because you're pushing your body to the limit. And then if it gets stuck just a little bit, that's all it takes for a tear. Yeah. People don't realize how easy it is to tear muscle, to tear tendon. It's nothing special. Bite into a piece of steak and you hit a piece of tendon. It's nothing crazy, dude. It's meat. It's thin. It's pliable. You could rip it up, and to put something like that, if that's the case with the weaves and people's cleats getting stuck, that's literally all it takes to blow out a knee. It doesn't take much.
Well, I know you guys talk about the turf, but I do want to get moving on to the next one. I know, Nick, you're looking it up. If you find it, let us know. We'll put it up.
Yeah.
But New York Rangers, tough loss last night, overtime in Seattle, late night. If you were awake, sleepless in Seattle, I was not. I went to bed. But overtime loss. Trocheck actually had a late goal the third period to bring it to overtime. Trocheck has been surprisingly pretty well, playing pretty well for the New York Rangers, which is pretty awesome. He's winning faceoffs. He's getting these goals, but the rest of the Rangers team not playing.
No, not even close. They're on a skid, dude. They're on an absolute skid. I don't know what's going on. You can't sit here and say, at the end of last year, going into the playoffs and the playoff run we had with some of the guys, not playing to their potential, and you're saying, all right, you went through a whole season of hockey. You're tired. You're beaten up. You just need rest, and rest isn't coming unless you lose.
Yeah.
There's no excuse at this point for how bad they're playing, and they are playing horribly bad. They're playing dreadful, and it's just sick. It reminds me of, essentially how the Islanders went to the Stanley Cup, and then last year, they were a joke. And that's it. And it's amazing how that could just absolutely, how does that happen? How do you have caliber of players that you had last year? Nothing changes. You get more comfortable with each other at the very least, and more comfortable with the system that you're playing, and you get worse. It's just, I don't want to sit here and start questioning people's heart and if their heart's in it and effort, but it's got to be an effort thing. It has to be. It's not talent. Nothing changed from last year to this year. If anything, they got better. So it's clearly an effort issue, and they just don't have it this year. And as a fan that really cares a lot, and hockey's my number one sport, the Rangers are my favorite franchise. in sports. As a fan, it's like, dude, cut the shit. Like, there's no excuse for it, and it's not going to be tolerated. I mean, to where people are on Twitter asking if hey, is it in the realm of possibility that the Rangers trade Trouba, who they just named captain? It's like, dude, anything's in the realm of possibility right now. You're getting curb stomped everywhere you go.
Imagine that'd be fucking insane to trade him.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Somebody needs to get me some season tickets to the New York Rangers.
Listen, I'm not. You guys are hockey guys. I love watching hockey every now and then. I don't follow it, all 82 games. When it gets to the playoffs, I really get into it. I tune in every now and then. I follow every score, see how the Rangers are doing, and it's just frustrating because you'll see a game, Rangers score like 5 or 6 goals. Next game, they can't even put the puck in the net.
No shows.
I think what's frustrating too right now is that you have the Devils who are like red hot. What, they won like 11 straight games or something like that? They won an OT last night against the Leafs.
No, the Devils are tearing it up.
Devils are playing really, really good hockey right now. And then you have the Islanders are playing well. You already lost 2 games to the Islanders, someone who's in your division. That's not great. And they weren't even close. Those are embarrassing losses.
Dude, the Rangers are not making the playoffs this season. Unless something happens, a miracle and a turnaround, and they go on like a 20-game winning streak. I just don't see it happening. They don't have it in them. They can't tie wins together. They can barely get wins. It's just not going to happen.
If that happens, they miss the playoffs. It'll be a huge letdown. After making the Eastern Conference Finals last year, being up 2-0, and then losing that lead and not even going to the Stanley Cup, no championship, nothing, and then to come out this year and not even improve the team. You have better talent here. You got Trocheck. You signed him. You bring VC back, and you can't make the playoffs. I mean, that'd be the most disappointing result. I hope it doesn't happen. It's still early in the season. There's a lot of hockey to be played. I mean, you've seen the Blues. The Blues was that one year. The Blues were like last place. They ended up winning the Stanley Cup. So anything could happen. You get hot at the right time and you make the playoffs, and you'll be on. I think about half the league makes the playoffs in the NHL. You got to be at least in that point. But I mean, it's rough right now. Be a Rangers fan, enjoy hockey right now.
Listen, they're not playing up to snuff, dude. They're not playing up to the standard that we expect as fans. And I mean, we got tickets for a game later on in the season. I mean, if it was a stock, the ticket value, definitely, we took a loss on that. They might be going for $15 by the end of the year.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, we couldn't go earlier because of the snow. I had the newborn. It's tough to get out of the house for a full night. But with your work, the snow and everything get in the way. So
hopefully it's like free keychain night or something like that. We get something out of it.
Yeah. Well, originally we were gonna go. It was the fan appreciation night, but then I was gonna be away on my cruise. That would have been sick. That would have been a lot of fun. But yeah, we got those tickets. So, I mean, we'll see. Nick, what do you think about the New York Rangers? I know you're looking up the turf, but
I think
point.
So from what I've been seeing, it's frustrating. It doesn't seem to be any continuity. The other hard part for me is like the things that we did well last season, we are not doing this season. So capitalizing on the power play, using getting those trash goals, from deflections and guys standing and establishing themselves in front of the net. We're not doing that. We're back to playing the way we did 2-3 years ago, where we're taking shots from the circles and from the blue line, taking wild shots at the net, as opposed to establishing a big body up front, trying to get some what's the phrase I'm looking for? When somebody stands in front of the goalie and he loses the puck.
Screen.
Thank you. trying to screen the damn goalie, something like that. That's what we were doing last year. That's what made us successful. And now we're not doing that.
We're not grinding.
It seems like we're getting lost in the boards now. We're getting lost in the corners. Like, we're dumping it in, and then we're losing it at that point. Last year, we're grinding toward the corners, and we're sitting there and we're trying to dig it out, getting it back out to the other end, and then again establishing ourselves in front of the net. This year, we're dumping it in and we're losing the board. We're losing the battle on the board, right there down in the corners. We're just losing it. It's happening way too often. It's like we're giving the puck away because we're not following through on our strategy.
No, yeah.
I don't know what the reasoning for it is. What I don't like is changing lines all the time. Listen, You're going to get beat up if the lines aren't working, but changing the lines every single night, that ain't going to work either.
No, you're not building chemistry that way. I mean, if you want to punish a team, make them friggin' bag skate the next practice, just the whole time. Bag skate it. Let's go. You guys can leave when you puke. Like that. The chemistry is not the problem. The chemistry was there last year. It's not a chemistry issue. And yeah, we added a couple pieces, but it's not where you have to switch lines up to where you're dropping Kreider down to the fourth line. Like,
yeah,
who is that helping? I don't understand it. Like, it makes no sense. I understand you have to do something. And, Dragolant as the coach has to make something happen. But I don't know. Start the game off pulling the goalie and say, well, I'm going to score anyway, so screw yous. No reason to, let Igor take pucks off the head.
Yeah.
Work harder. I don't know, but I agree with you. Switching up the lines and just disrupting chemistry, between players is not the answer. I honestly, in my head, being the superstitious guy I am, it seemed on average like once every 10 games, Trouba injured somebody with a clean hit, and you just got the tweets, oh, he's a dirty player, he's a dirty player. We haven't gotten one this year so far. So I think Trouba needs to just lay wood on somebody, and start the fire that way.
Yeah, I don't think we're playing physical at all.
Not at all.
Big issue. We're not playing physical at all. We're just getting abused across the blue lines. Again, we can't win a face-off worth a damn. That's just like an ongoing theme for the last 2.5, 3 years.
Joe Check's there. Joe Check's the only one.
That's it. That's the only one who's winning the face-off.
It's a Rangers thing. That has been. I feel like that has been. It doesn't matter between what coach it is. Like when Tortorella was here, when Vigneault was here, they never won face-offs. Like it's just
they also never used to have any type of decent power play, and we got that last year.
Yeah, that's true.
We couldn't tie it together with a decent face-off guy. And how many times were we in the offensive zone and just couldn't capitalize at all? Where you watch other teams, Jesus, the Capitals made a living off of that, in the heyday of Ovechkin and what's his name on defense. Help me out here.
Just had it. Nick something.
Backstrom?
Fairly confident his name is Nick Backstrom.
There you go. They made a living off that. Get in the offensive zone, win a face-off, and just throw it on net. You know what I mean? And it's just never been that way for the Rangers. But, dude, like you said, you don't want to go and pay to see a team lose and spend money to be miserable. Like, sitting on my couch miserable every night watching this team, just being frustrated, trying to figure out, they have no identity. There's no character to them. There's no... You know what I mean? It's just I just want to point out, I've never back this way, back that way. It's a tennis match.
I've never paid to see the Rangers lose ever.
Lucky you.
All right, well, that's it for the New York Rangers. I think we're going to move on here. We're going to do Manscaped. We're going to come back. We don't have anything for the segment, but we're going to talk about it a little bit with our new segment, Kangaroo Court. So take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Fellas, the fantasy football draft season is right around the corner. CeeDee Lamb is good, but have you seen these beautiful balls? It's time to get your snake looking right for this snake draft with sponsors of today's show, Manscaped. The leaders in below-the-waist grooming have created a championship lineup with the Performance Package 4.0. Join the 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get ready for kickoff by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with the promo code BellyUpFantasy. Inside the Performance Package 4.0, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance Boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold all your goodies. Tom Brady didn't come out of retirement for you to have hairy balls. So slot it at the quarterback and get 20% off and free shipping when you use the promo code BellyUpFantasy at Manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping when you use the promo code BellyUpFantasy at Manscaped.com. It's time to put the PP back in a PPR league.
All right. I forgot to take out the banner at the bottom during that commercial. Oh, well. All right. We're back with Kangaroo Court. So, we don't have Kangaroo Court tonight, even though we usually well, not usually, but we were supposed to have it. We had a little bit of issue with someone who was summoned, who got a summons and a complaint in their mailbox, in their DM, saying they had to be at Kangaroo Court, and he's not here today. And it is very frustrating. Granted, we did switch time on him. He was not notified, so we'll give him in regular court. You have to be notified before you could be brought in front of a judge and have a decision made against you. So we'll give it to him. We'll give him a break tonight. But Kangaroo Court basically is we're gonna sit here. We'll switch up who's gonna be judge for each Kangaroo Court, depending on the topic of discussion. We don't want anyone to have any any unbiased or too biased judge against them. But basically, we'll take turns. Me, Nick, and TJ will be your judges, and then you can pick whether or not you want TJ, Nick, or me, and whoever represent you in court of Kangaroo. Because at this point, we're going to do friendly disputes, right? If you have a fantasy trade you hated, if you have someone who keeps vetoed against your fantasy trade in a fantasy league, if you have a sports take, if you have a pop culture take, if you have anything, whatever, against your friend, some sort of take or dispute against them, we're going to bring it here in front of Kangaroo Court, and we're going to give you either two types of damages. We're going to give you punitive damages, which means somebody's getting punished, or two monetary damages, which means somebody's going to pay up because maybe they lost a bet or, I don't know, whatever reason might be. But Kangaroo Court is going to be here. We have someone scheduled for next week already. So we have a dispute between the guys. I think it was 1420 podcast. They have a dispute they wanted to have settled at the Kangaroo Court. So we will see what we're going to do with them. What is it? 1420 Sports Bar podcast. They'll be on next week. So we're going to have them. They're going to have a dispute. He said they're going to think about what it is. One of the disputes they have is about musical taste. So we'll decide who's going to be a judge next week about that. But
if the topic is Beatles, then I can't be a judge because I hate the Beatles.
Yeah, no, it might be Beatles. So we have to
if it's Pink Floyd, Nick is out as judge because he hates Pink Floyd.
Wow, I was gonna say if it's Pink Floyd, I'm out. I hate Pink Floyd.
I think I might be the judge for that one. Then we'll decide. Well, since TJ hates the Beatles, I think one side was definitely Beatles. So you'll represent whoever has the other side against the Beatles. And Nick, can you represent the Beatles, or you hate the Beatles too, Nick?
I don't hate the Beatles.
Oh yes, there we
go.
Hey,
John Lennon.
Nick will do the Beatles. I'll be. I hate Yoko Ono, whatever fucking name is. But we'll have
Yokozuna. What?
Yokozuna.
No, at least Yokozuna had an ass.
If they do the music one they want to do, I'll be the judge. TJ will represent the other side against the Beatles. Nick will represent the Beatles along with with our two guests that are coming to Kangaroo Court. But I mean, did I describe it pretty well? What do you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be a fun segment just to air out some grievances between friends, between frenemies, whatever you want to do. If you wanted to shit on each other, that's absolutely right up our alley. We just want to make a fun place where you can just go and vent, and we're not the people's court. We can't pay you to show up. I just heard a really funny story, and I don't want to put out there who it was or anything like that. But I know I just found this out yesterday from my brother. I know two people that decided to go on the people's court and sue each other because they pay you like $900 to be on the people's court.
Yeah, and they also pay for whoever loses. Like if you lose, they pay your damages.
Dude, they fabricated the most ridiculous story, and they were on the people's court. And I'll tell you guys off the podcast because I don't know if there's some kind of statute of limitations where they can have to give that money back. But I can't wait to tell you guys because it's absolutely ridiculous.
Was it?
And it gives me an idea with what?
Was it on TV already or no?
Yes.
We have to find the clip. We have to find the clip and play it.
Dude, I asked my brother to get it for me, and he said somebody else that he knows has it.
We have to get that.
But so we can't pay you, but I think it'd be fun. We're gonna keep it, not really classy because there's no reason to be classy if you're clashing with each other, right? But keep it civil, no violence, but just a place to air out your grievances and have a little fun with it, and have other people who aren't involved, throw their 2 cents in. I mean, what it's worth, not 2 cents, that's for shit sure, but I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, and like we said, we're gonna be monetary damages. If you owe money to somebody, we're gonna tell you you're gonna pay, and we're gonna have punitive damages. And punitive damage is not the way they say how it is in the law. Punitive damage means you're going to get punished. There's going to be some sort of punishment, whether it be a hot chip, whether it be a cold dip in a cold bath. Whoever does it, hopefully they stick to it, and we'll also play the clip later on.
I mean,
or put it on our social media about their punishment. So
going into the wintertime, if it snows, somebody's taking a swan dive in a Speedo in some snow, I think.
100%.
I mean, I do that for fun, but
yeah. So if anyone has a friendly dispute over sports, pop culture, just bullshit between friends, and
who owes the next time going to the bar tab, golf dispute. Is it a gimme? Is it not a gimme? Bring it on. We love it all.
And we always had with our friends growing up was always this guy never drove. Like when you went to the bars, and it was like this guy never drove. It would be 5-6 weeks ago every weekend, and he would never drive to the bars. Like that's something you want to bring here. We'll take care of Kangaroo Court.
That was me and Meredith when we first started dating. She complained to me about, how come I'm driving everywhere?
Well, there you go. She could have brought you to Kangaroo Court. We had told her, Nick, you're driving next.
And she hasn't driven anywhere since. That was like our third date. And she's like, I'm driving everywhere with this son of a bitch.
Yeah, so there we go. That's a reason too. But that's anything. You're right. It's sport. If it's something on the
here we are, a year and a half later. She hasn't driven in years.
If it's something on the course, in the court, on the field, whatever it may be, we'll take care of it. We'll here at Kangaroo Court. So check us out. DM us below. Score Addicts Pod on Twitter. If you want to join us, if you have a dispute with your friend, also go to Scoreboard Addicts on YouTube now. That's our new thing on YouTube is handles. So you just put in at Scoreboard Addicts, and you'll find our YouTube channel. And then it's at Scoreboard Addicts on Instagram and on TikTok. And TikTok's fun because we'll announce it later on, but we have more stuff coming for TikTok and YouTube coming up. So I think it's better for Kangaroo Court, right? We don't have Well, he's lucky that he's not here because he probably would have got a lot of punitive damages.
I mean, I think punitive damage is not for nothing. Can you really even call it punitive damage when it's earned?
Well, because it's a punishment, so that's why we're just naming it punitive for the sake of the segment. So. When it's earned, I mean, obviously, I agree with you. I think I
don't think any of us can be biased in this situation.
Yeah, I think he's pretty much screwed if he comes to the Kangaroo.
What happens if he's in contempt of court or doesn't show? I mean, can we put out?
He has to be properly notified. If he gets a proper notified with enough time, we'll say, all right, you're contempt of court.
Listen, I mean, I'm all for starting a GoFundMe page and then sending Dog the Bounty Hunter after him.
Bring him to your house.
That's weird.
Be great.
All right,
here's the $37 I owe you. Thank you, Dog.
Yeah, that does it for Kangaroo Court. DM us if you want to join. And that brings us to our last segment of the show. Trying to do a quicker episode today. Rapid fire. So I have a few topics here. I guess if one of you guys, I didn't say who was going to be which, but if you guys want to raise your hand real quick, but let's be real quick on these. Let's not take up too much time. So this one actually both could chime in on. I almost said tune in on. Chime in on. Okay. I'm going to show you a logo because a new team has not a new team, but one of the teams in the MLB have changed their logo. So I'm going to show you their old logo, and then I'll show you their new logo, and you tell me which one you like better. All right? So Minnesota Twins recently paid to redo their uniforms, logo, everything. And here is their old logo. Just the Twin City with TC. All right? Their old logo. All right? Now check this out. This is their new logo. For the audio, I don't know if you guys don't get why I'm laughing. It's not much of a difference. It looks pretty.
That's like the episode of That 70s Show where they hire the dude that plays Al Borland and Leo's cousin and Leo to redo the basement, and they get high and they're like, "We moved everything a foot to the left. It's a totally different basement." It's literally what they did. The fact that you know what? Honestly, good. Screw it. Whoever got paid to do that, okay, and cash that check, good for them. If you could scam morons, scam morons. I'm all about it. The hell with it. I hope they got paid a lot of money. I hope there was a 50-man think tank, man or woman or whatever, think tank that got paid a lot of money to do that.
I see what you're adding, Nick. I'll show it 1 second. But here's my favorite part. Like, It literally all they did was get rid of the tails on the T's.
Yeah.
On the
No,
side of
there also is no gap between the C and the T anymore.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Ooh.
It's straight through. And it's a little brighter. It's a little brighter red. A little brighter red. So here we have this video. Here's a little clip from Nick that Nick's posting right now.
Hang up. Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. Intel has told us there are at least 7.
Okay, I already see one. Give me. Okay.
They're the same picture.
Yeah.
100%.
That's 100%. Oh, I took out TJ by accident. Yeah, that is.
Excuse me for just a few minutes.
And he's gone.
And he's got Nick. I guess he doesn't want to do rapid fire. All right. So
emergency poop situation, possibly.
Apparently emergency. Hopefully he doesn't poop.
The old Manny Ramirez.
Oh yeah, into the Fenway green monster.
The green monster.
All right. So yesterday, Judge was finally named the AL MVP over Ohtani. A lot of people were hoping that Ohtani would still win because he's a pitcher and he's a hitter. But Judge had the most historical year as for a right fielder and a hitter. Well, right fielder, center fielder. He actually, the crazy thing is he probably could have won a Gold Glove this year, but because he played so many games in center field, right field, he wasn't able to get a Gold Glove, even though he probably should have. So he wins MVP, but the contract talks. He's a free agent. Great year to become a free agent. 62 home runs, broke a record.
Bet on himself, and it's going to pay off. Yeah.
So they said basically right now, Brian Cashman said the offer is now out there. He gave them, I think they offered him last year $253 million contract extension. They now are at. They said they went higher than that for a contract extension. So, what do you think? What do you think what gets done?
If you're not paying this guy probably in the ballpark of $340 million, he's not staying.
Yeah, I agree with you. 8 years, probably 8 years, right?
Yeah,
and
I'm assuming the reason why the Yankees didn't put it out there, obviously, because the obvious is you don't want other teams that are in the market to start getting an idea of where their bid needs to be.
Yeah,
but at the same time, they're probably a little embarrassed by it. They probably went up $20 million. Like, come on, it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
And all the hot dogs you can eat in the stadium. You know what I mean? Like, dude, the Yankees are playing the cheapskate role. And if they're not going to pay for this guy, it's just pathetic. I mean, the Yankees so far in the offseason has been absolutely pathetic. You're hearing how Donaldson's a good player and Boone's a good manager. And
it's like IKF.
Dude, you can't sell me a bridge in Brooklyn. You can't sit there and hold shit in front of my face and tell me it doesn't stink. You want to continue with this like laughable horseshit parade of lies. Go ahead. But the fans aren't buying it. Nobody thinks Boone's a good manager. Nobody thinks Josh Donaldson belongs on this team. Nobody thinks IKF can be your fucking everyday shortstop.
No, not
Cut the shit. Like you literally took all the problems and all the issues that the fans had with this season and turned around and like, no, we're good. I mean, maybe that shit works in politics because people are dumb and watch news and whatever. We won't get into that. But like baseball fans usually know because they're watching and they're paying attention and betting on sports or paying to go see a team. You can't lie to them and be like, nah, he's good though. Why? Yeah. Because I said he's good. Okay.
No, definitely not. And
means nothing.
I think with this contract, they're probably going to have a, which I think 1420 tweeted us at us too as well about this was a heavy, like front heavy contract where it won't kill you as much towards the end of the contract. Cause like,
right.
You can get older. I mean, think he's 30 years old already. He's going to be 31 next season. He's going to be 39-ish when he's done with this contract.
Right.
It's an 8-year contract. The other thing that concerns me is that obviously we always thought the Giants were going to be in on it. Giants like we will not be outbid. We're getting Aaron Judge to come back. Right. Not come back, but come home to the Bay Area where he's from. The Dodgers recently just cut a bunch of people, or not cut them, but like opted out of a bunch of contracts.
Right, freed up some cash.
They have $100 million extra this season now in offseason for this season going forward. And they are in on Aaron Judge. And that scares me because the Dodgers are like, they're already stacked and they're always ready to throw money at anybody.
My only caveat to this whole situation is if the Yankees are going to do what the Yankees have been doing, it's probably not worth spending the money on Aaron Judge because if you're not going to, especially a front-loaded, front-heavy contract, if you're not going to win or shoot to win a championship in the next 3 to 4 years, then what's the point? Because if you're going to sit there and run out Donaldson and run out IKF as your everyday shortstop, if you're going to keep Aaron Boone as a manager who's essentially doing absolutely nothing but listening to analytical bullshit, he's just a puppet. If you're not making any effort to win or change the, deficiencies you've had, especially last season, then there probably is no point in spending all that money. I mean, it's not my money. I don't give a shit. Spend it all for all I care. I don't care if, Steinbrenner's go broke. Doesn't matter to me. But you can't just, get Judge back and spend all that money and be like, we're set now, right? It's like, no.
Yeah.
You got to make some maneuvers here. You got to do some things to win more bowl games and to last longer in the playoffs.
Nick, quick point on Aaron Judge contract talks. What do you think? Then we'll move on.
I think I at this point I'm getting to I think that the Yankees re-sign him because their owner is starting to realize that they cannot lose him. That the brand hurts when you lose your star. How embarrassing would it have been to see Derek Jeter play for somebody else?
So embarrassing.
So I don't think it's your homegrown stud. I think you sign the guy, and Steinbrenner's been saying a lot of things lately. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to what Steinbrenner's been saying.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah.
As of late, he's been saying, I took not that he took offense when fans booed him, but he heard it and he understood why. And he was like, we can sign Judge and somebody else. Whether or not he does that is a different story. But it seems like from what Judge is saying, he's like, I don't want to sign with the team, and I sign with them, and we don't sign anybody else. Like, that was his latest and greatest comment, was like, I want to play for a team that wants to win. And how do you show me that you want to win? Well, don't just invest in one person. Invest in the entire team. I think first step was getting back Rizzo, who's a very big part of, helping Judge. If Judge is the captain, then he's the co-captain. He's the assistant captain, whatever you want to call it. I think that was a big deal. Today they re-signed IKF for like $6 million. I don't hate the move if he's the backup. If he's the backup, that's a great move. The guy's very versatile. He can play every place on the field to include catcher.
Hey, he's awesome. He's a great utility player, 100%.
Yeah. But playing him every single day, that's the wrong answer.
Yep,
that's the wrong answer.
100%.
You go out there and you go spend some money and get yourself a Correa. You go get yourself a Trey Turner. Which I honestly, between the three of us, I would say I would rather have Trey Turner, just because I think he's a better overall hitter. And when I say hitter, I don't mean power and on base plus slugging, all this other crap that everybody likes to measure. I mean he gets on base, he's still second base. That's what I like from Trey Turner.
Right.
Because we have a lot of guys that have great OPSs, and when they get on first base once in a while because they can't hit their weight. They weigh 210 and they bat 190.
Yeah.
So
and they also have your Peraza and Volpe in the wings too.
And that's the thing too.
Yankees always do that.
Bring up Volpe. Get rid of Glaber. Bring up Volpe and bring up Peraza. That would be a change to me. That would be a change in a direction. I'm not saying you got to go out and spend $300 million on Trey Turner or Carlos Correa.
Yeah.
I am saying that you can't run this. You can't run it back.
No, you can't.
You have to get rid of Donaldson, as far as I'm concerned.
And regarding the young guys, last quick point about this is like the Yankees have been known to just stash away their minor leaguers and then be like, we're not training them. They're going to be the next best thing. And then they finally hit AAA and they're like shitty. Like how many pitchers have gone by the wayside? You have Debbie Garcia is not that good anymore. Chance Adams never came to fruition, and he keeps doing this. So it's like, are you either going to finally take a shot and use these guys, Peraza and Volpe, or are you going to go forward with signing a big name to play shortstop? Because you need something there. You can't go with IKF. You can't go with Josh Donaldson. You need something more for this team. But that's my final point in the Yankees. I don't know if you guys have anything else, but if you want to move on.
They're going to end up getting another outfielder to go along with Judge.
They said they were.
Either Benintendi is going to come back.
Oh, the Japanese player.
And there's that too. There's a thought in that as well. There's also Cody Bellinger just got released, which is weird.
He got released. True. He
didn't get released. He was just non-tendered. He was non-tendered. Let's bear in mind that 3 years ago he was the NL MVP.
Yeah.
Right? And he's what, 25?
He's hitting bombs too.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here saying that he played great last year. I'm not saying that by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
He had a very Joey Gallo season last year.
Yeah, he did.
But 3 years ago or so, the guy was the NL MVP, and he was like 23 at the time.
Yeah.
But he was like, 25, 26, and everybody's like, he's washed up. Like he's a running back in the NFL.
Put it down low. All right, well, moving on. This would be a really quick point for me.
Wait, Gio Urshela traded to the Angels. Poor bastard.
Yeah, sorry.
Sucks for him.
Sorry, Gio. Quick point. Tony Finau won a tournament. TJ, you know me and my Tony Finau.
Dude, I love Tony Finau. Tony Finau, there's no way to not love Tony Finau. I mean, he might be one of the most personable guys on the PGA Tour as far as just.
He is. He's awesome.
He comes off very, very nice, very genuine, and good for him. I'm happy for him. I love watching
last year.
Finau
He won those 2 tournaments back to back, and he came home and he was like doing like the Dougie and stuff. Like he was going nuts. He had all like because what is he? Polynesian, right? Is that what he is? Or Samoan? What is he?
I'm not writing his biography.
He had like all like, they give like the big leaves and stuff like that. They put like the whole necklace on him and he was dancing. I don't know. Either way, I love Tony.
He fell in a bush, dude. Come on.
You clearly don't know enough about him to love him that much.
No, he's Polynesian or something. He's from Hawaii. He's in the area. But
he's from Salt Lake City, Utah. But all right.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
He absolutely is from Salt Lake City. He's born in Salt Lake City, Utah.
But his nationality, what's his nationality?
American, because he was born in Salt Lake City, Utah.
You know what I'm talking about. We're all Americans here, but I'm Spanish.
If I had to put money down based on the fact that he's born in Utah, I would say he was Samoan for 2 reasons. One, his middle name is Boua, which is, as Jet fans know, Sione Boua was Samoan, and he played for the Jets, and he was also from Utah. He went to the University of. He was a Utah Utes. I think it was the Utah Utes. And he was also a Mormon. That's why he's from Utah. Tony Finau is of Tongan and Samoan descent.
That's what it was. I said Polynesian or Samoan.
I don't know if you know this, but Polynesian is Samoan.
There you go.
Or rather, Samoan is Polynesian.
Whatever. Moving on.
Some guy loves Tony Finau so much, doesn't even know his
I said
heritage.
he was Polynesian. I said he was Polynesian. And
you guessed he was Polynesian.
I knew he was Polynesian. Anyway,
what's his first name?
Anthony. No,
it's not.
It's not Anthony. I know it's not.
His name is Milton.
It's Tony.
It's
Milton. Tony. All right. Anyway, moving on. Your guy's best friend, Tom Brady, newly divorced Tom Brady. I know you guys love Tom Brady so much. Did you guys see Giselle has a new boyfriend already, and who it is? He's the Brazilian jiu-jitsu coach. I guess
so Tom can't even fight the guy.
No, he couldn't.
Because the guy will just beat his ass.
But you know what? Why would he want to? Why would he want to? If it's over, it's over, and he's Tom Brady. I'm sure he will be able to dry his tears on some 26-year-old supermodel's chest.
Listen, dude, it still seems like
be
he got
fine in life.
pretty good. It still seems like he got cucked pretty good.
Like Woody House.
Yeah. He's drying his eyes with his millions of dollars, and oh my God, it sucks sitting in this mansion by myself. Oh, poor me.
I'm just letting you guys know that Brazilian jiu-jitsu instructor was probably getting some rear naked choking before Giselle was divorced.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he was.
Listen, but Tom Brady still has the notch on the checklist of I had Giselle when she was in her modeling days.
Yeah, and that guy will have the notch of I was in Giselle when she was married to Tom.
But does it matter? Do you think it bothers him? I feel like it doesn't.
I played in 9 Super Bowls and 10 Super Bowls. 10 Super Bowls is 9. 10? It's 10. I played in 10 Super Bowls or whatever it is, and I won. Yeah, I won 7 of them. Yeah, his 7 and 10. He lost 3, 2 to Eli and 1 to Nick Foles, and he won. 7.
I forgot about the Eagles one.
Yeah. So he has that notch in his belt. Is Meredith coming on for the Would You Rather or no?
No, she's neck deep in New Girl.
Oh, that's a good show. All right. Would you guys rather spaghetti fingers or spaghetti nose? And what I mean by that, I mean you have your regular fingers, but they're like spaghetti. They're very like, or you have your toes are like that.
Toes. I don't do shit with my toes.
Yeah. I guess would it be tough to walk though if you like your toes are equilibrium?
You can say it was non-functional.
Well, so here's the deal though. Like if I put my socks on, I can kind of ball them up into the shape that I need them to be. Especially have those finger socks that women love.
Yeah, you just can't wear sandals or just freak people out.
You can't play with flip-flops. Yeah, you can't wear flip-flops.
Listen, If you have spaghetti fingers, you can't even pick your nose.
Remember salad fingers?
Salad fingers.
That creeped so many people out, and I still don't know why.
Salad fingers.
I gotta
All right,
say,
we have
Ouch.
one more. Would you rather? Would you rather? Oh, what the fuck is this? Lose your sight or your memories?
Damn. That's a good one.
the memories. 100% my memories.
Like all your memories from here past?
Yep. Wasn't that great?
I'd rather you lose my sight.
I think I have to lose my sight because at least I can like remember like.
But then
my
you'll never
daughters are
see
born.
you'll never see your daughters get married.
Yeah, but he'd still be able to be there. It's better than like the first day of waking up and your kid runs up to you like, Daddy, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I'm not at the wedding.
I don't
right?
remember
know,
you.
I don't know
Watch
any
the
of these
video.
people who are here.
Watch some videos. You'll be all right. There's pictures all over the place.
What are they? 51st dates? Like I don't have to watch. a
Yeah,
video every
seriously. Like,
morning?
no, I want those memories.
Write a fucking note. Fuck that
I
shit.
want the memories.
I want the memories too.
Memories are the
I
worst.
like memories. You know, losing the sight does suck, but seeing myself get old, I guess I won't have to see how ugly I would be at that point. I just still think that I'm like less ugly.
I would never have to worry about being brought up into Kangaroo Court for not driving Rook anywhere. I'd be like, dude, I have a fucking good excuse.
Yeah, I can't see. Damn it. All right.
Oh, shit.
All right. So, funny thing is, last week our would you rather was would you rather have a dick for a nose or a nose for a dick? And it turns out that we found on the internet this week.
My dad
Yeah.
found it.
I saw everyone else too. This guy literally had a dick for a nose.
Oh, man.
Look at this poor bastard.
At least he never had to worry about getting punched in the mouth.
I'll tell you right now, if he worked on Wall Street in the 80s, nobody would want to party with him.
You know what's funny? Like he had to have done it once, right?
Yeah.
He's got to do it one time in your life.
Yep.
Like, you know what, honey? This night we're gonna use the nose.
Is that a real thing?
Honestly,
obviously that's wax,
I don't-
but
I mean,
Black in your butt.
you know what? It's not just the length, it's the girth, and that thing is pretty wide. I mean, it'd be pretty embarrassing. His wife is like, yeah, no, babe, nose again. Damn it.
Yeah, imagine he was like he withheld the nose because he's like, I can never put my penis in her ever again. he's like, I can't have sex with this woman ever again, so I can't use the nose. What?
it's awful.
The
Like
nose
he
is
outstretched the
one time.
elastic in a fucking his favorite pair of sweats. Ruined it. This took a turn. This took a turn for the worst.
Oh, my
God.
goodness. I'm so glad my dad sent me that link.
Did your dad have an answer for that? No. Would your dad rather have the dick nose?
But you know what? We were busy. He was busy welcoming his grandson into the world. He didn't have
It's
time
fair.
to answer that.
That's
Fair,
true.
it's a good
Congratulations,
excuse.
Nick. Congratulations to your
Thank
family.
you,
That's,
thank you. That was wild. That was crazy that we got it on video. My reaction to my dad saying my sister's in labor. You guys didn't see it, but I felt pretty good.
Oh yeah, I didn't see. I heard it, but that was. We'll have to play. Nick,
probably-
do you want to do me a favor? Because whenever I play a video on here, it always comes up really skippy. Could you go to YouTube, our YouTube channel, and pull up our advent calendar, one of those beer and takes from last year?
Yeah,
Or do the
absolutely.
blooper one. Do the blooper one. Because
You're
we're
a
on
blooper one.
last segment, well, not segment, but last thing for the day for the podcast is we're coming back with the Advent beer calendar. We did this last year. Beer and a take. We started from December 1st, went all the way to December 24th. It was exhausting. And the last 2 nights were in AC. You guys were live in AC. Did a couple beer and a takes there. We are going all the way again. We're going to have AC again on the 23rd, the 24th night. And it's fun. We do different beers every night. We each take a turn. And we try different beers, give our sports take, and give our reviews on craft beers around either locally or just around the country. So
If it has alcohol in it, we're trying it.
yeah, exactly. Do you have a queued up?
Yeah, I'm ready.
What is the blooper?
This is the blooper.
All right, let's see it.
Love this intro.
Intro's funny. We're going to have to come up with a new one. My daughter loves this, by the way. She loves the beer to take.
Our Jewish friend has his menorah in the background.
Yes. It's a holiday tradition.
There it goes.
Thanks for being here with me for day 20 of our Advent calendar.
And him who was very talented. Only took him.
Edit out some of that rant, like it was long. Edit out some of that. Anthony, edit the part about what I said about COVID out.
Hi, welcome to day 10. Hi, welcome to our 10th day of the Advent Beer Calendar. This is the 10th episode of the Beer. It's a great movie, Chevy Chase. You have Dennis Quaid. Not Dennis Quaid? Andy Quaid.
Hints of lemon and ginger, cinnamon. Actually, you know what? Not lemon. No, not lemon. Hold on. No, it's not as tart as lemon. It's orange.
Wow.
Wow.
Try baby. But if you were sitting by a campfire and that smell that you honestly, wow. See? Wow. Watch out.
MLBPA. Bananas. Ron Harper takes the ball and dribbles it up. And throws a, not so much a sports take, but obviously the movie holiday party. The movie holiday party. Cranberry, orange, blueberry, and milk sugar.
That'll be the outtakes. But
Yeah, wow.
but this is 10%. Wow, that's something else.
And it was pandemonium. Also, a very happy Christmas.
It does not have the wow factor. No. It does not have wow factor. That has a wow factor. That's a take a sip and you go, wow.
We appreciate the support. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
So, cheers.
Hope everybody has a happy and healthy holiday. Nick, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas from all of us here at Scoreboard Addicts Podcast.
Thank you very much.
That was a good month.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, it was definitely a lot of fun. I was a lot of fuck ups.
No, my favorite is you just going to this
Yeah, I don't know why. Like I do before
16 takes.
I like
The old
giving her
dry
a
lips.
talk.
I just want to point out that every time I said wow, I was making fun of TJ.
That's fine.
No, I know you were. No, I feel like one of the ones you weren't.
I want to say it was like the second to last one.
The AC one. No, the AC one. You
Yeah,
were like,
we were in AC.
you're like, wow.
I turned around.
Dude, because you know what? That AC beer, and I wish we would have wrote down the name of that. That shit hit you right in the face. Like,
It was a s'mores something or other. It
Yeah.
tasted like campfire.
S'mores one.
yeah,
you guys-
it was insane how
both were
sweet but smoky it was.
yeah.
That shit was a wow. That it deserved the wow and the wow factor.
Didn't we bring you one back?
Yeah, it was delicious. That was a real. I don't like stouts because they're usually pretty heavy. That one was like way you guys described it, like watching that back, and then when I had it and when you guys brought it to me, I was like, they nailed it. Like you guys nailed how that beer tasted, and when I actually had it, I was like, this is delicious.
We'll walk
And I
back
get
to
why I
AC
love
for
it.
another one of those bad boys.
Yeah, it was like a
Yeah,
s'more-
we're definitely gonna have to hit that liquor store again, try to
was
find
it
that again.
was it like a Rudolph? It was like a Rudolph one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was a
it was
total hokey holiday, can.
holiday beer. Yeah.
And usually, I think we started that beer in the take by saying like usually these suck, so we had no confidence in it being good because anything
I
that
think
has
that's why
a
we
gimmicky,
sat there like shocked. Oh, I found it.
right? Like
It's
the
called
gimmicky
the
cans.
Rudolph.
Rudolph.
Rudolph. That's what it was.
It's called the Brudolph S'mores Stout.
Yeah. All right. Well, beer and a take.
I guess we can't do another review, but we'll just drink that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But beer and a take will be back. I'm looking forward to an advent calendar. We'll try to do something different this year, make it a little more fun. But I think that's it. Nick, take us out.
Well, from all of us here at the Scoreboard Addicts podcast, we'll catch you again next week. Next week, we have a little different schedule with the holiday coming up. We will not be on at the end of the week. We'll try to get on a little earlier Wednesday.
Like late Wednesday, Thanksgiving Eve.
Late Wednesday, Thanksgiving Eve. We're going to do a little something, and we'll see a little Kangaroo Court action.
Yeah.
And we'll see the type of discipline that the judge has to bring. Looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome. Look out for a beer and a take for our 25 beers of Christmas / Hanukkah
Holiday.
Life. But that's all from us here at the Scoreboard Addicts podcast. And we'll catch you next week.